ROMP is, I think, the only poetry night of any regularity at all in Rotherham. Rotherham's actually got quite a lot of art stuff going, but there's not a lot of poetry. And ROMP started deliberately about five and a half years ago, I think, with local poets. We're local. A lot of the people who read here have never read before, and so they're just people who have learnt to write poetry and just enjoy it. There's been one or two spin-offs over time. There've been a couple of smaller versions of ROMPs at different times in the month. We're the first Friday of every month. The longest running one at the moment is ROMP 2, which is at another local pub and is in the second Wednesday of every month. And it's less big than this. We got speakers and stuff, and ROMP 2 is a sort of quieter, sitting around tables, reading poetry.
Don't be sick all over me. Who's gonna mop up the carrots and peas? Or the mess on the floor, seeping through the crack under the door? You'd have made less mess if you'd sneezed. Don't be sick all over me. It's not my fault you didn't enjoy your tea. That 12th spaghetti bolognese was simply not enough. That you had to down a KFC bucket, 12 apple pies and other such stuff. 4-course Chinese meal for one still left you rumbling. You discarded last night's beef stew and dumplings all over the lounge room's recently fitted burgundy carpet. The pressure had mounted until you couldn't help but parp it. And now the smell you left me with would scare away even fleas, because you ignored my request. Don't be sick all over me. Remember I warned you over and over when we walked around Alton Towers that those plants you saw were actual biological flowers, as opposed to the edible ones from the Willy Wonka movie. Still, their colour scheme was too convincing, if not somewhat groovy. You avenged it with dodgy burger, after putrid hot dog, after pungent Pepsi, until you were packed to the rafters and took impromptu sessions on Nemesis and Oblivion and Rita immediately after. All good fun, as many who indulge you will see. Just one thing asked of you, that was, don't be sick all over me. I really don't want to know what you had this morning at 3 a.m. Those chicken kebabs smelling of pea that you found last week in Clifton Park under the tree. I can manage without those last 30 bottles of Happy Shopper Coca-Cola, and I'm sure that dog will appreciate that decade overdue Gorgonzola. Away with that 7th pack of premium sausages, black pudding and square-cut back bacon, because if you think they clear the metabolism, you're ever so mistaken. Yet, if you really can't survive daily, do feel free to say stuff it and have your 12 McDonald's Big Macs, those 11 Colonel's buckets, those 10 Chinese takeaways, those 9 fish and chip suppers with baked beans, by the way, those 8 chicken dupiazas with rice and bhajis, and of course the large naan bread, 7 Sunday roasts consisting of a full joint of beef, 50 Yorkshire puddings and 20 potatoes per head, 600 strawberry choc and mint choc ice creams, 5 bags of onion rings, 4 tons of trifle, 3,000 deep fried Mars bars, 2 chocolate torte flans, each a square metre in size, served with so much whipped cream you lose a sight in both eyes. Savour each banquet bigger than heaven has sent. Yes, trough like a psycho till your heart is content, and your innards will tango until somewhat irreparably bent, and your girth reaches further than is feasible to see. I just beg that you bend to my one last living plea. Please, 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 don't be sick all over me.
It's midnight, and all we're going to do is dance. We can't drink anymore, we drank until we had our fill. Now the beat of the music controls us. We couldn't be still even if we wanted to be. The rhythm has us in its grip, and all we can do is dance. Just dance. Just move our bodies in time with the tune. It's too loud to make conversation, and there are no words that we need. We are in each other's arms, we're cheek to cheek. I can smell your perfume. It ignites a fire in me that will burn all night. We're surrounded by hundreds of people, but it may as well just be the two of us, because all of my energy is focused on you. I can shut everybody else out, and we dance, just sway to and fro, wrapped in each other's arms. And the music consumes us, and the beat controls us, alone with you in this crowded dance floor, dancing, feeling so alive, hoping that this night never ends, wishing I could dance with you forever. Just dance, all through the night, dance, dance, just dance. Just.
Rain. Hello? Oh, it's you, sir. Of course, anything I can do. You've only got to say. Sorry, you've only got to say the word. I'm not sure about that, sir. Sorry and all that, but not to put too fine a point on it, well, I'm crap. Hopeless at DIY. The wife never stops moaning about that shelf I put up. Says the pots keep sliding off, I ask you. Women, never blooming satisfied. Well, if you put it that way, I'll have a bash at it, but I'm not promising anything. What was it you wanted knocking up? Whoa, that's a tall order, considering all the trouble I had putting up that shelf. Still, you're the boss. How big would you want this, whatchamacallit? That'll be centimetres, of course. You must be joking. I'm not too clever with them old-fashioned measurements and that, but you're talking big. Very big. I'll be pushed to find a builder's merchant who can supply that much wood. Talking of wood, I suppose we're looking at softwood, pine or some such. You what? That'll cost a small bloody fortune. Oh, I see, rush job, money no object. You've not thought of IKEA? They do a wide range of stuff in wood. Sounds a bit like one of their products, you know, Vikings and that. Right, sir, now assuming I get this item finished, what do you want me to do with it? What? Me and the wife, the kids? Hang on a minute there, sir, I can see straight off several problems you may not have considered. Well, first up, I'm not much of a one for cruises, you see. I get seasick in the bath, me. I'm more a beach and a beer and a good book man myself. The wife now, she's been wittering on about one of them cruises for years. Fancies getting dolled up every night, dining at the captain's table, the top flight entertainment and all that. Not for me. They're all fur coat and no knickers, aren't they, folk who go on cruises? Because they've bought their own council house in Todmorden, they come on as if they're the Duke and Duchess of Muckshire. The other problem? Did I say there was another problem? Oh, shame. I've got to mention it, but it's like this. Well, the missus doesn't cotton on too well with the daughters-in-law. Oh, you know, the usual stuff. They're not good enough for her lads. Don't know how to boil an egg, never dust under the ornaments, that sort of thing. No, I can't imagine them together on a cruise. No way. Beat each other to death with a cruise-a casserole pan before we'd left Portham. Now you're pulling my chain, it's a wind-up. Come on, sir, you're extracting the Michael, aren't you? Animals? No way, Jose. Anything for you, sir, but I must draw the line at animals. Allergic, you see. I come up in bumps like golf balls if I so much look at a cat. Bring on my asthma something chronic to do, I can hardly breathe. It's the fur, you see. Matching pairs, you say? Wouldn't they, breed? I know this thingamajig you just want me to sort of knock together is big, but have you even considered the demographic possibilities of all these animals penned up with nothing else to do but reproduce? They breed like rabbits, especially the rabbits. Like I said, sir, you've only got to ask and I'd move heaven and earth to help you. Well, that's more your line now I come to think of it. But this project, well, it's got more snags than a chorus girl's tights. After due consideration, I'm going to have to take a rain check on this one. What's that, sir? Have I seen the weather forecast? Matter of fact, I haven't. What? Is it? Will it? Right, sir. Talk to you later. Moustache, get down to the wood yard before they close. Ciao.
I once had an allotment plot and became a shovel metronome, a place greenhouses came to die, mourned by clucking fowl, crowing cock, hot to trot, pecked at pink plastic baths with hard rain rings, sliding into slow and useful decline. Forever silver, supermarket trolleys would never be pushed in anger again, but saved for impromptu barbecues. Steel water tanks with rivet sides invited the hand to feel deep space cold. I broke up lumps of soil with the back of my spade, powered by the smells of Sunday dinners, in tune with a thudding drop hammer. Quickness and guile were keynotes when weeding. Never let them get the upper hand, they take over. Dandelions move in gangs and nettles have a throbbing kosh. Sheds, unlocked, issued ferret smells of muscular tea and minty sweets in damp coat pockets. Inside, unsafe trestle tables rocked with every footstep. Onion bags and spud sacks lay lumpy hard, all barcoded by morning shadows. Other plotters came to chat, pipes were breached and roll-ups passed around. Soon I had friends and a bronchial cough. On plot 2, Nellie Billow, a cosmic fireball redhead, a goose-hissed voice calling as she happy slapped nature with tropical storm abandon. Camouflage trousers tucked into muddy boots gave her a Central European dictator demeanour with not quite as much facial hair, all balanced on a voluminous bosom. She kept her seeds in a shortbread tin and her husband's ashes in a quiet corner near the sprouts. Jim, on plot 6, his wit so sharp it threw off sparks, his voice a gentle drizzle of acid rain. His gums were loose, but his dentures were fine. They were found in hard ground around the drought of 79. They glinted through bonfire smoke thick enough to squeak. He once showed me how to dispatch a duck. You need to stretch its neck like this. Oh, heck, he said, and botched his mission. He took it round the back of the shed. Agonised squawks could be heard, followed by a muffled thump of submission. You can't win 'em all, said Jim, teeth slithering round his mouth like an alien greeting its next victim. His demise was, alas, not as swift as the duck. The incident happened like a game of mousetrap. Showing off his pantherine grace, he rolled a cig with one hand while flipping open the lighter with the other and flicking the cigarette into a waiting sideways mouth. Then, an unexpected Zippo forest fire flame ignited. To avoid the blaze, his head went back and hit the awning of his shed with an almighty crack. Down he went, over the sprouts like a sack of spuds, never again to dig and toil in his hallowed soil. As the ambulance disappeared up the track, I turned to Nell and said, well, that's that. Fancy a wholemeal biscuit with green tea? Bugger that, she said. I've got the key to his shed. Let's get pissed with his homemade wine instead. Thank you.
There's currently, on different various TV channels, about 5 different programmes about alleged benefit cheating. There isn't a single programme about politicians' expenses claims, or bankers' bonuses, or corporate, tax avoidance. This is to try and redress it. It's called Friends with Benefits. The same twisted manufactured narratives are written in red tops and TV scripts for Benefits Britain. The demonising of low-income estates is complete when bus-stop conversations just rants about last night's benefit stream. Your Daily Mail readers will scream across breakfast tables so loud that they're paying their taxes for gypsies on benefits and proud. The showing of documentaries entitled Benefits Beauty Queens will give most knuckle-dragging sun readers fucking really wet dreams. They can get off on the girls and rant at the same time. The benefit claims not the stereotyping in their opinions, the crime. Hey, If they can afford expensive trainers and a 50-inch telly, have fags in the gobs and beer in the belly, and you're not telling me there aren't any jobs. They're just all lazy bastards. The girls are all slappers and the lads are all yobs. And so, another benefit cheat type programme is aired, but the real perpetrators of austerity are spared because there'll never be an in-depth research into them. A programme about bonuses and dissections for us all to condemn. Imagine a programme called Bankers Bonus Britain. You'll have to bear with me in a minute because we know it'll never be written. But supposing just such a programme was made, and the truth about the banks bailing out was relayed and made public, the depth of offshore accounts realised, and the rich and the powerful, not the poor, were despised by fellow citizens and workers and ordinary folk, who sadly rise to the bait that these programmes invoke. When really what should anger us all is the poison and bile that feeds into those who believe in Jeremy Kyle. So, why can't we see one about CEOs' expenses claims forms, where claiming and cheating and dishonest is the norm, and one where those in the city are shown for what they cost the taxpayers if this cover-up were blown? Then people could get just as angry with the huge major chains who don't pay full taxes despite shareholders' vast gains, and at the billions that's lost when this tax fiddle's done. Then maybe we won't target the poor of Winson Greenborough, nor allow filmmakers to show what they please, painting shit unjust pictures of those from Stockton-on-Tees, instilling thoughts and ideals of those from Scunthorpe, taking truth and reality to twist and to warp, making the country spit venom at those Grimsby born, misled by the makers of this poverty porn. So, turn off from these programmes and don't get tuck in. Start to look at the real cheats, and then we can begin to turn round all this bullshit and catalogue our lies and begin to see others through more honest eyes. Cheers.
Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Tomorrow is an adventure in the making. Yesterday is a memory of a moment we can't return to, even if we wanted. What's done is done. All we can do is learn to accept it and move forward graciously. Time waits for no man, and no man achieves by waiting. Today is the first day, the first of many, and you will no doubt be catapulted into situations and scenarios, but please stay calm. Worry is cancerous, a disease that invades us all, with the intention and ability of spreading rapidly. So, slow down, take a breath. Today is the first day I have opened my wings and tried to fly. It's a chance to make amends for all my failings, however small. To correct some wrongs, to put pen to parchment. Finally, I will get a chance to reveal everything I have kept inside. Secrets and hidden truths that have threatened to tear me apart. So, where do I start? Cheers.
I know that you see me as a domesticated house cat, so sure of its next meal and the fact that its humans will come home and that its humans will come home. But you're wrong. I know you think that your skin will reflect bullets and you'll rise from the water, but you will not. You are as scared and as unsure as wild animals. The fear is in our eyes, but masked by our humanness, our apparent understanding of the world around us, but this is myth. You do not understand why you are so breakable. You are so fragile. People slip through your fingers like grains of sand, and you will never find them again because animals run away. You never deal with anything because this capability to understand and form complex solutions is a figment of your imagination. You have picked up little sand and you reassembled it into your mother years after she is gone. Just like you, she was material. You are not a dog as simple as a trick and a tree. Instead, you go to work and you get paid. Is there a difference? Out back, a male kangaroo clutches his dying mate as she herself reaches for her joey, none of them really knowing. As he looks around frantically, he feels as if he is running, but he is not. It feels like she is heavy, but she is not. His eyes search for galaxies under the glow of the afternoon sun because he is a wild animal. There are no answers to your questions, and you have only been tamed. You are willed into apparent thinking of your betterness. You think you own the land and its crops, but you do not. You are another animal. You are afraid. You come from the earth, and to the earth you must return. That's it.